सीनियर पहला जो होता है वो forming audience in the school. With carrots in the zone, this AV team for making this a possibility. And everyone associated with this program, we are a hearty good morning, assalamu alaikum, namaste, sat sri akal. So basically, whatever happens whenever you leave the school frontiers and when you visit the school as an ex-student, as they call me, or as somebody who has been here, you become a part of alumni. Whenever you visit a school, it's obvious, you know, the dopamine rushes there, you're full of catecholamines, dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine. That happens. It's basic physiology. It happens with, it will happen with all of you. It has happened with our alumni members for here. And absolutely, it happened with me too. I remember, I guess, I should start on a light note because I don't want it to be boring and I should not take much of the time. So I should be speaking for a few minutes and I will try to put in some life advices that I had in these 2 decades of life that so far I had. So bear with me, it will not be that long. I remember the last PT I had for 13 days. A night sir told me he used to hide in the secret chamber in a locker. So did I. I had a complete strike rate of 13 days I was not caught, so I was in that locker. But for the 14th day, PTs had caught me and I had to do 3 extra rounds in the ground. I remember it was the last day that winter had to hit. If I'm not wrong, if my predictions are right for the winter, you don't do the PT. So I did the 2 rounds and tried to act smart. I told PT, sir, okay, tomorrow I'm going to have my 3rd round. And the fact is, it was my last PT that the winter started. I had my appreciation that the PT sir would call me and ask me for the last round around the ground. But absolutely, apprehensions did not prove to be true. So, lucky me. I will not have rather a dozen of mind-reading examples or suggestions of big life advices. I don't have that much of a generation gap. So we'll try to be precise and I will try to present to you a few facts and few stories. Just 5 points, not more than that. Okay, sir. I'll try to do that. I will just be telling you points 4, 5, which will at least give you a sense which will help you at this stage of your life. I will not go into theories or put in side big scholars, but I will try to be relevant to each of you. I will try to make sure it reads each of you so that you can compass or just fit and scramble, whatever it's scattered around, you understand that. First point that I will discuss with each of you is learning. You know what happens in our school, or any of the schools, not only JKSS and which means Sunday School Marks, but it happens in college or in university. We become prisoners of the classrooms. What happens, we feel the learning has to be barred within the corridors of the classroom. It has to be barred there. But the fact is, this school, in particular, let me talk about JKSSM, or the schools outside this frontier. What happens is, the biggest chunk or the biggest stuff that you should learn, it happens outside the classroom. Here is a culture of seniority. You respect seniors. When you go outside, you will understand it's very relevant. Even as a medical, you have to respect your seniors. Make sure you engage with your peers, with your seniors here. Make sure you talk with respect and decency with your teachers, you engage them. Make sure when you go to the playground, absolutely it happens. I was a nerd, I guess. If there is a junk, I don't believe there is more of the straight lines that can be put in a difference between 2 facts. But the thin line is either you're a nerd or you're somebody who is an athletic. I guess I fell towards the column of being a bit of nerdish. That's how I was, if I can recall my school days correctly. So, wherever you are, make sure it's your learning process. Don't try to be absolute on what you believe. Don't try to be stubborn. Don't try to be staunch on your belief sets. Make sure it's ever increasing, it's ever expanding, and you're making the horizons on and on. It's a minuscule of an advice, but if you go by this way, if you understand this way, and you try to live your life this way, it will pay in the long run. In the long run, that's going to pay in influence, money, loads and loads of ways. You're not going to understand that. So make sure every place is more of that Shantiniketan view as a place where you learn. That's important because we're all students from cradle till we become corpses. That's what our life is meant to be. You have to understand that's how we go, that's how life sustains. Basically, even the professors, even the teachers, they're students. When you become a professional, in this world, in this time of information technology, you have to be learning. Even when you're in the 50s and you're practicing as a doctor, you have to keep on learning. There is nothing like that. You have those vivid marked and straight types in your career. Why don't you say, okay, I completed my 12, now I'm going to be a doctor, I learned all in med school and everything is okay. Every second there's an admin. So make sure you're a learner. Make sure you are a learner. Try to be mindful about it. You're in the basketball court, you're in the PT. Tell yourself, I'm learning to talk to, I'm learning discipline, I'm learning teamwork. Everything that you're taught here becomes, in the big scheme of things, it helps you. That was point number second. Point number first. Point number second is, just because you're from Sandwich School, you feel your privilege. Nobody owes you anything. When you go outside this campus, when you cross these boundaries, you do your drill. Remember this, like, nobody outside this room owes you anything. Nobody gives a damn about where you came from. Nobody cares about what your struggles have been. Nobody gives a damn what you did with your life. Nobody gives the damn about the tears that you shed in SK House or MG House. It's the work, it's your hard work, it's your perseverance that will be calculated and taken for granted. Or taken when you move on. Because that's not something that's expected from you. Doesn't matter whether you come from this school or you come from a school in UK. You have to make sure you become a metal in your home. Nobody owes you anything. This is your story. This is your chapter. It's up to you how you write it. Teachers may write it. You have the best, I would say I was blessed. I would not say privileged because privilege becomes more of a capitalistic word. I would say I was blessed to have the most impeccable teachers at this staff of teachers. I'm not making it because I have to give a speech. I'm a person who talks from heart, whatever I believe in. And generally I'm telling you, take the most out of these teachers. You will not get as friendly, as cooperative, as good teachers as you have at this stage of your life. Maybe you move forward when you go to the college, you enter med schools, you enter NITs, IITs. I remember when I was in IIT Kharagpur, I gave a month there. Basically, I was confused what I should be doing with my life. I had a phase of that. I hope you all may not have that. You get very sorted with what you know. Because in this span of 3 years, and I listed my AIR ranks and loads of examinations, that's not an achievement. At the end of the day, we all have to pass an entrance examination. It's the bare minimum that you do. Then you enter, then you learn. Until you become a professional, you're not contributing anything. Understand that. You start contributing when you do something for the society. Do for the people and most importantly, do for the community. I'm very sure we're from JNK. This school, make sure you do something for our people, for our community, for the Kashmiris, for the people in Jammu, or for the people in Ladakh. You do something for this because what happens is you don't have to visit or think global activity. You don't have to think, okay, I'm going to go to UK, do this. Because the fact is, most people, they have crossed those standards of development. You don't find anything that exciting that will bring in seeds just an enthusiasm out of you that you can carry on there. But absolutely, your community needs you. Make sure you have that heart towards your people. Because I have heard what happens when we are a kid, we say Kashmiris are stupid. That's the stigma. You talk to any Kashmiri. That's how people say, we are this, we are that, we are the best people. That's not true. We are the worst people. That's not true. We are people. And the community, society becomes better when people like us, the people who are doing what going to become the youth in the times to come, do something for the community. So remember, you're not privileged, you will get your education, but this is your story. Write it on your own, be clear with your vision. Even if you have confusions, you're the best team set, you're the best scholars, gurus, teachers here, talk to them. Talk to them, go to them in the free period because somebody who wants to get high, basically he will find those rather gray areas where he can talk to people or teachers or gurus, that whatever he wants. That was point number 2. Point number 3. Understand school life and real life have a difference. There is going to be such a big time, there is going to be, I would say, such an abyss between the two. You will understand. I remember the biggest nasty habit of life is it doesn't give you whatever is in textbooks, whatever appears in life or comes or becomes a part of whatever you're going to face in your life. It doesn't come out of your textbooks, it's out of syllabus. Every time, you never know what. And then those skills that I talked in the first place, being in the playground, talking to your teachers, making friends out of them. These teachers are your friends, don't try to, have that level of respect. You have to talk with dignity because if you try to make a peer out of them, then there's a different chemistry that ends in. Have that level of respect, but try to talk to them. They have our teachers, they have issues, they have more responsible members of the society, they have families, they have loads of things. But if you don't walk to them, maybe they will give you the best classes. You cannot get those diamonds or rather those rubies out of them. So talk to them. You find a teacher, go to them, talk to them. Maybe even if the students around and say he's talking too much to the teacher, if anybody can take this advice, make sure they will give you the advice which the words I would say I've read loads and loads of literature and I've read loads and loads of books. Somebody with the experience, somebody of the teachers that I know here, whatever they can advise you, you will find that in no library of the world, no convention, no professor, no place of the world will give you that. Make sure you become pet to them. Even pet is more of a derogatory word. I would say follow them. Even if you're more of abused or somebody says you're being insulted, but make sure you are born to your teacher. In the long run, it will help you. It will help you in ways that you're not even imagined, in your wildest of fantasies. That was my point number 3. And the best, I remember one of the cliches like some I read on social media, in our schools, first we are taught the lessons and then we have the examinations. While in our life, first we have the examination, then we receive our lessons. So it's all topsy-turvy. It's all antagonism. That's how it works. It's not something that runs in a straight line, but that runs in more of a proper, neatly or combi direction. You have to understand. All of you have to understand that. Point number 4 is about failures. Everybody will talk, okay, I'm a success story, but maybe I went into medical college, I had to drop out 2 years. In the 2 years, I qualified every national examination there is. But I had to do 2 attempts in the 3rd attempt, so I had my share of failures. If you fail, make sure, they say the toughest of the sailors or the one who dares to go into the wildest of the seas is the one who meets the wildest of the winds. Somebody, it's easy. Somebody who's wrestling in the mud, who's fighting, who's trying to get in shape. It's easy. You don't know the story. You don't know what that person is going through. You don't know the struggles. You don't know what that person has been. You don't know what is the story of that person. Basically, we all are different human beings, different biographies are before me. Any 2 people will not be same. Doesn't matter whether 99.99 genetic genome happens to be same. It's 0.01%. That makes all the difference. But the fact is, first of all, the problem is what we do as Kashmiris. Even our parents have a habit of doing that. If there is something different about you, a kid who plays too much, if there is something different about you, a kid who writes too much, a kid who does something that's constructive, but he does it more than that's moderate or that's acceptable to the society we're a part of. Understand one thing, you have to make sure that's something while you're different. Don't give up. Everybody who will meet you, he will give you advice. He will have a set of listen to everybody, but be clear about what you have to do with your life. People will come, somebody will say, okay, you are great at that, you should be becoming a scientist. Somebody will come, okay, you're great, and maybe your parents will come and say, everybody is becoming a doctor, graduate. That's what our parents, they have that side, they have that patronizing habit. I guess our society, having socially and morally gone to the standard, while we respect what the kid is saying. Maybe it happens to our kids, I will tell you, your parents have the best interests for you. But remember, they don't know you as much as you know yourself. They have the best. Remember, if you don't have a decision of your own, teachers and parents will give you the best decision. But if you are clear about it, this is the dream, this is something you want to pursue, I would say, people who have been docile, listening to everybody, they're not creating mysteries. If you have a goal, dreams, and it's your responsibility to get out, somebody allowed to write. So basically, outside, she's somebody who's rejected by every publisher. You remember our Prophet Muhammad, if you look at his youth, he was somebody who was abused, was ready to, was thrown stones. Jesus Christ was an Isa. All his life he achieved nothing. He's a man who was hanged on a death row. So shouldn't we say he was not a success? He was a failure. By the world said what did he do? He's a man who was hanged for his claims. To somebody like us, or to people who were in administration that day, he was somebody who was a failure, who was against whatever he was. But the fact is, he stood for what's right, he stood for what's true, he stood for what was the need, he stood for the mission and Allah and Lord did. So what's your mission? You know that. Respect that, protect that, and make sure you're a guardian of that. Success doesn't come in one day. It does actually relate to the most brilliant. You have an IQ ranging to 1,000. You will have share of fragmented section of failures happen. And another point that I will now add is the people skills. What happens with social media is identity is the most important skills. I'm very sure everybody is most. We have to be very selective with the videos. Because people will give you hero worshiping, people will give you set of heroes, and there are people in every religion who have done wrong. Remember that. There are Hindus, basically religion is not good or bad. It's that person. It ends with somebody on the social media abuses you. Remember, our country, India, this country, it was based on idea. Idea is simple. Idea is irrespective of your culture, irrespective of your color, irrespective of your caste, irrespective of your creed, irrespective of your costume, convictions, conventions, whatever, irrespective of all of them, we are here. Remember that, never let somebody tell you you're a second-class citizen or something like that. Because in social media, maybe the people who happen to be candidates, they don't get into the conversations. In a class, why don't we use clubhouses, why don't we use audio apps, other generation culture. We know what's going in here. We know the ideas here, that's done. I will give you some of the most heroes that might be used to me in the time. Maybe they will help you. One of the heroes I would like to quote is Ekha. He's the father of Olympics. Al-Idrisi is the father of cartography. Somebody they used to make maps. In old times, making maps was something that was given to the best of the minds. And remember, America was discovered by part of economics. And for 2C trigonometry, I'm very sure it runs at least 30 crore. 10% at all. If somebody from grammar doesn't even remember these lines. So 2C is the part of trigonometry. A few I will also quote for you is Khwarizmi, all the modern computer YouTube techniques is based on his book, Activity Algebra Theory Modern Computer Technique Part. Khwarizmi, last one on the book is Zehra. He's somebody I university, but rather somebody I look to as an idea. He's the person who has created most of the surgical equipments that I use in the hospitals today. He was the first university where degrees were created in Egypt by Muslim girl named Fatima. So these are your heroes. Make sure you are impeccable to know who your heroes are. Don't get carried away. They will have loads of heels to carry, loads of directions to do. Make sure you are there to do that. Other than that, I think I don't think I am capable of working at talking for teachers. When I'm somebody who's a student, it's an honor to be talking before all of them, all the teachers and talking basically as a kid. It's an honor at the same time I'm visiting to be talking before the people who created you talk. But it's also an honor because we never know what's going to happen in life. Whether we are modern teenagers, we get to talk to you, you have get an opportunity for life. It's scale you up. Make sure you take that and participate in whatever comes around. So basically, I guess our nights have called me so that I could guide you in entrance examination. I guess that's the very which I want to bring these examinations. For qualifying entrance examinations, you have procedures, you have tips, and we have books that you do for every exam. Basically, I happen to be somebody who had taken jobs for 3 years. So I went to college, GMC, advancing, whatever is this, UCP, second year. So because I draw, not because I'm such a genius, I take it and get it easily, I write. So the fact is, be kind to yourself, be good to yourself, love yourself.